People, when they're fighting, usually use a lot of different types of equipment, more heavy-duty equipment, which is great protection. I want to show people what we use at Loyal Sword. It's not the best thing to use at times. I don't expect everybody to do this. There's a reason we fight the way we do. Don't wear vests or jackets at times. We wear shirts, and at times you can get cuts, and it hurts. You know, you get cut open. These are real swords after all, to some degree. Here's what we usually use. So I wanted to start out with some of the basics. As you know, Loyal to the Sword, we have our cod pieces. This is a long-standing tradition. If you know the sword fighting game to some degree, you're going to know some of my fighters who have cod pieces. Okay, and you're going to know who they are. So, this cod piece tradition started probably about 25 years ago. The first cod piece that I had is this one I'm wearing right now. I got it from Little John at Chaos Forge. Then I went out and found a bunch of other brass masks and skulls. And I made a lot more, and it became kind of a tradition for Loyal to the Sword to be wearing cod pieces. The other thing I like to wear is kind of like a kidney belt. Sometimes you get a hard thrust in the body, or you get a shock to the kidney or the lower spine, and you don't want to have that. If you fight for a really long time, you find out that knee pads come in handy. You can only take so much shock to the knee. The other thing about knee pads, as you get older, they give you a little bit of support. Now, some people might say, well, in the real world, you're not going to wear knee pads all the time. And I agree. But in the zombie apocalypse, you might. The other thing we like to wear, elbow pads. So last week we did a little bit of rapier and dagger, and it seemed to have a positive response. People liked how it was working. Another thing we did, one of the videos we did a while back shows us fighting in a melee formation, and one of them showed me fighting 6 guys at once. Some people would say, how does that work exactly? How do you fight multiple opponents? So now we're going to go over that. I'm going to go over some multiple opponent fighting. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to use shield, in this case vest, what I call a dagger. Other people may call it something else, but it's a, so we use the dagger. Shorter, very strong. In the melee we won't thrust with it because it doesn't flex, but it does cut. It's got a lot of mass to it. And a heavy duty cut and thrust sword. Again, the blade by Darkwood. This is an old guard made by John Scott, Scotty Armory, or he is also known as Malcolm. So we're going to use different types of blades. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go 1 against 3. I'm going to show you how we do the movement and stuff like that for fighting multiple opponents. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of multiple opponent on 1. Okay, I'll be using 2 weapons. Okay, this is Roman. This is Skylar. They're going to be using 1 weapon apiece. Okay? And I think we're going to add 1 more opponent. Lucas is going to come over, so I'll be fighting 3 people. So it'll be basically 3 weapons against 1.5. Then we're going to graduate from that, and they're going to get offhand weapons. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fight a little bit, then we're going to stop, and I'm going to explain to you what happened. Okay, so what happened there? A lot of movement. Come on, guys. So what you see me doing here is moving side to side. I'm moving from one side to the other. What I'm trying to make happen is I'm trying to make them bunch up. So, as you rewatch the video, you'll see how I made them back into each other. And then, when they finally split off, I was able to block and hit Skylar. But Roman was fast enough to get a good headshot on me. Okay, I did catch him with the cut, but his headshot probably would have stopped me before I got him. Let's do it again. Good. Okay, on that pass, Skylar, with his much longer blade, was able to get in on me. Okay? So now what I have to do is, I have to think, how do I make the movement better on my part? What do I have to do? Okay? To fight these three guys. Number one, they're all young and strong. Number two, they stayed together very well. They learned from their first mistake. I tried to push them in together and make them fall over each other. It didn't work very well. They're fighting very well. One of them has a much longer sword for thrusting, but they're staying at a good distance and they're attacking very, very well. So it's very difficult. Okay, now we're going to give them a chance to fight 2-on-1. So Lucas, you'll fight first. You want a ghost or a jacket? Ghost. Have a ghost. Great work. So the idea of fighting multiple opponents is to try to make those opponents be their own worst enemy. Make them run into each other, force them together. Okay? Lay on. Nice job. Very good. Okay. You saw the movement of Lucas, where he was moving very quickly. He was staying just a little bit out of the range of the thrust. He was able to come in. And that last cut was very, very nice to the head. Great job.